Hello and welcome to my fourth part of my playthrough of the forest. As you can see, we did make it out in the end, but it wasn't without a price. Towards the end, basically I had to jump off that raft and swim as fast as I can because I wasn't even too sure where exactly the boat was because of how dark it was. But as you can see, low health, yeah, extremely low health, uh, dehydrated and hungry. So that's our first concern. Is getting back to full health as soon as possible. Now I'm trying to figure out what sort of things I can craft with my my deer skins. Now, I think the main sort of focus now would be to either get a spear bag, stone bag, or stick bag. Problem is, I haven't got any of the skins for the latter two. But yeah, as you can see, the raft was left in a further position than usual. I was more worried about having to get off the boat and then getting to the save as quickly as possible, but yeah, it all worked out in the end. Yeah, I'm just checking sort of if there's any food I can put back on that on the drying rack because I don't want it to spoil or anything like that. I've been struggling to find how to put it back on without having to put the pre-dried meat back on as well. So I found out that if you just equip it, it works like that. But yeah, super annoying. As you can see, lovely little sunset on this cannibalistic island. But I've skipped out the little part of the rowing because that usually does take up the most time. So the sort of aim for this episode is to collect some resources, mainly logs. As you can see, I'm an expert parkourist for this area now. But yeah, this location's really good, especially if you're looking to build a base because of all the trees, and it's really downhill, so it saves me time collecting resources. So yeah, at the moment I'm just looking for the right tree, see which ones are nearby, because I'm planning to build the sort of house or shack to more to the right side because you can keep it more secluded. But I've sped up the sort of mining process of the trees because with this basic axe it does take a long time. My sort of next plan is to, I know there's a better axe you can get from a cave, but looking at my health, that is not something I want to do straight away. But as you can see, the best sort of method to get these down, as so, and it rolls down. But from looking down, I realised only one log made it to this location, and the one got stuck. But thankfully, there's other trees here. Now I know for the shack, there's 13 logs you need, if I can remember correctly. So yeah, I'm gonna have to chop down a few trees here to get enough resources. But yeah, I'm just making sure I collect all the logs that fell over, or were felled, as one would say. As you see, the deer population has recovered pretty well, and my food supply secured. But I do wonder, I've never got this far in the game, but I do wonder if you kill enough of them, will they stop spawning? My guess is it's probably true, but no one's ever survived that long. At this point, I'm trying to think, is this too far to cut down a tree? Because I'm not sure it's going to land in the right area, and it is just water down there. But I'm too lazy to carry them down. Nice little montage of cutting these trees down. It is actually super satisfying cutting these trees down, but the only problem is, as soon as you cut one down, it obviously makes a loud noise, and I know they do attract the cannibals. So every time I cut down a tree, I'm always sort of paranoid. Especially more so now that I've basically no health. Yeah, the odd twigs here and there, always worth capturing. But yeah, super satisfying cutting these trees down, especially at this speed. Wish that could be the speed all the time. But there she goes. Big tree, this one. Now, there usually are I'm pretty sure 4 logs. Now, I'm not sure if you can cut down a bigger tree, because I know some trees that you just can't cut down. And a lot of the cannibals, they like to pray to them. Well, at least just run up to, I like to think they pray. So you can't cut them down. I think there's some sort of spiritual tree. But yeah, let's get this tree going down. Just make sure to cut down in the sort of the angle you want. I've noticed cutting down sort of facing it, but to like sort of an angle so they do roll. It's always the best bet. Fortunately for this one, some of the logs got caught. So this is the best part of the cliff because there's no ledge below it, but as you can see in a minute, some of them do get caught. And see, this is why I need a stick bag. It's already full and it barely builds anything, 6 sticks. Now, supersonic down this cliff, expert now. Now it's time to build a sort of shack, because as you can see from last episode, getting caught this far out and not near a save was a terrible, terrible idea. So the plan is to sort of build a shack every so often, and then save the game and sleep there if need be, and then move on from there. But I think that's the general sort of what people do on this game. So the plan is to sort of build the shack away from where they might visit. So I was thinking, well, if I build it to the behind, in front of the cliff, and then sort of like away so they can't see the fire through the window because there's a little window in the shack. And then I'm sort of planning to build a few drying racks for food, and a stick collection and a rock collection. And that way, as we go around, they're sort of like safe houses on the way, so I don't get caught without food, drink, or shelter. What's nice about this island, which I don't remember ever being here previously, is the absolute spawn of turtles again and again. I don't know if it's been modified or anything, any sort of update, but I distinctively remember my previous play a couple of years ago now, of being the lack of turtles spawning. So I don't know, but as you can see, I've sped out me building the shack because I've yet again found myself swimming behind logs, which takes absolutely ages. But looking back, there's not sort of any other method. Looking back, there's not any sort of method I could have employed instead. I guess I could have carried them down, but I would have been even slower maybe. At least I won't be near any sort of inhabitants. But yeah, cheeky little save after my build. I'm not building that again, just in case I get some computer failure. Now I'm just realising that I can only just fit into that shack, which is good news because had I not been able to fit in that shack, I would have died inside. So the next thing I want to do now is sort of build a fire just in case I need to purify some water. So I was thinking, do I build it there? But that's where you walk in, so I don't want to set myself on fire if that's possible. And we know from last episode that if you build a fire, one of those simple fires, they can break quite easily. So I'm thinking more long-term investment here is building a fire pit. Yeah, I just need to collect a few more rocks here, and then we can move on from there. Luckily, rocks do spawn just randomly on the ground. But yeah, I've just picked up a little rock, and as you see, there's a few stones on the ground here. But I'll soon be full. I'm pretty sure you can only carry 5, if I can remember correctly. But luckily, we don't need too many for this fire pit. As you can see, I've got plenty of food on that raft. Also, the sun's setting. It sets down a lot quicker around here because obviously the cliff covers the sun. But yeah, cheeky little bit of meat. But I'm debating whether or not to eat it or not because, like I said, it's always good to not eat before bed because it will reduce it quite a bit. So it's just a waste. Now, thankfully, because we're on a sort of peninsula and it's next to the water, I know fish do spawn. But I think it's after 2 days in-game time. Well, I'm glad it's not 2 days outside game time because that seems a bit too realistic for me. I'm just going to flick through the manual here, figure out what we want to build first. Now, obviously, we've got that issue of carrying sticks. So my plan until we get the stick bag is at least to have some on supply, just in case. There's no point wasting cut down sticks. Now, when I was looking through the settings for this game, I did realise that you can click respawning trees, so I was going to click that, but then if the game intended you to have that as an option, it would already be selected. So I did want to play as natural as I can, but I am debating putting down a log storage thing as well here because obviously I've cut down a few logs there that I haven't used, but don't know if I can be bothered to go collect them, but at least I get a rock and stick one here first. And I'm also thinking could be like a main base sort of area, because it's between the boat and future locations. And it's got some good resource nearby, especially that cannibal village, like I said, with the rope and cloth. But you have to start somewhere, so we're starting simple, not too much. I might rearrange it later on, but for now this will do. But I think the next sort of step is, once we build these up, is to build some defences around as well. We don't want any unwelcome visitors in the night. But yeah, seeing the sunset and the light turn on your manual is just another type of fear. But yeah, I've sped up the whole process of me looking through this manual, because I like to look through again and again. But yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to put down some defences now. You can put down a sort of simple wall, but obviously I think if you're going to put down a wall, you might as well put down a defensive one. Now, I was thinking, well, how much space do I want? In the future, a lot. But for now, I think a little simple one will suffice, because these take so much trees. Like each one of those stakes in the ground is a log. So, as you can imagine, if there's only it's 4 logs per tree, and it's probably going to end up at 40 something logs, then it's a lot of trees. 10 trees. Quick maths. But yeah, you can see that I'm trying to build it towards into the water a little bit more, because as I mentioned, that they can't actually go in the water, so it's good news for us. We'll play, work smarter, not harder. But yeah, as you can see, the sun is setting. The manual's fully lit up by that light now, which is never a good sign. But thankfully we've got a save here and a bed. But yeah, look through the manual again. Now I'm adding a birdhouse here, because the birdhouse on the shack is a good idea, because obviously birds will visit it and they drop feathers. Now I'm planning to put more, but they carry 1 log each, and I've obviously got a few logs stuck up here already, so I can build one at least with the twigs and logs I have available. But yeah, with the feathers, obviously you can use that to upgrade stuff, so it's always a good idea to have one of those on here, especially considering there's already quite a big bird population. Now I'm not too sure if those big birds can visit it, but maybe some others will as well. As you can see, I haven't built my log collector yet, so I'm just going to have to leave that there and sleep for the night. I'm going for a quick little save here. But as you can see, because it took me so long to go to bed last night, it's messed up the spawns, but I've cut it for you guys. So you can see me save the game, but it took a lot longer than it looks like on screen. But yeah, day 4. Survived. Like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching.